Devastating flooding and mudslides in California in just a few moments. First, though, that system now moving east. Winter Storm Hunter, that's bringing snow, ice, and rain to many areas.
Exactly. Winter Storm Hunter set to track snow from the Rockies to the upper Midwest. St. Paul, Minnesota, you will get into that mix tonight into your Thursday. Cleveland, you're next with impacts Thursday night into Friday. And to top it all off, more cold air behind it. So let's get right to it, Alex.
Indeed. Going to be following this for the next few days, tracking its way across the country. You talked about how this thing was first going to be impacting the West Coast and then eventually sliding its way east to bring us some impacts and coming in the form of, well, wintry weather. And you can see the zones that are already under some of those winter weather alerts. Essentially across the upper Midwest, the Plain States, as well as getting into the Rockies. We got a number of areas, the darker shade of that blue, that's where we've got winter storm warnings. The lighter shade, winter storm watches here for you just south of Minneapolis, including Omaha. And then the mid shade of blue, that's where we've got winter weather advisories. So a number of locations that will certainly be feeling some of the impacts. Here's what's going on right now. We do have some snow showers right across Montana down into Wyoming. Billings seeing some snow, seeing some light activity starting to sort of ooze its way out into the northern portions of the plains. Bismarck right now reporting mostly cloudy skies, but it is cold, 24 degrees, 11 though in Billings. You slide south and east, that's where things warm up a little bit more. 40s for you with some sunshine, Rapid City and Scotts Bluff, but both of those locations will see some changing conditions. All right, so here's today in the setup. There's our storm system pulling out of the west. Out ahead of it, moisture. That's sliding northbound now out of the Gulf of Mexico, and that moisture going to meet up with some of that cold air that's going to be sliding south and eastbound here for the day. So cold air meeting up with moisture, that's going to mean some wintry weather. Snow, mixed freezing rain. We're going to basically run the full spectrum here for a lot of areas here in terms of precipitation. So let's take you through the rest of the day. There's the snow across the northern Rockies, sliding east here for the rest of the afternoon. Good chunk of the Dakotas seeing some of that snow. Continuing to spread southbound here, getting all the way down even into northern parts of Oklahoma could see some snow there. Thursday morning, basically Omaha, Minneapolis, seeing some of the snow into the UP of Michigan, continuing through your Thursday afternoon. Then a bit of a break, and then you see a little bit more of that wintry weather getting going across the rest of the Midwest for the afternoon. So here's what we're thinking in terms of snowfall amounts. Through tomorrow afternoon, the higher totals here for you south of Minneapolis, where you could be looking at 5 to 8 inches of snow, but that just nudges its way just a little bit farther to the north. Minneapolis, you could be right in the heart of some of the heaviest snows there. But some decent snows to come here, all thanks to Hunter. Marie, we've got more on some of the timing.
And timing is everything, Alex, and it is going to be rough. Let's just take Minneapolis as an example. I don't think it could get any more brutal than this, where you're going from temperatures in the mid and upper 30s at 9 o'clock to less than 12 hours later. Snow, and yes, at this point right here, 14 degrees with winds 30 to 35 miles per hour. That's below zero wind chills in a matter of 12 hours. So a huge turnaround. You were just in the 40s yesterday. So obviously, snow is a component, but absolutely that incredible temperature drop as well. About 2 to 3 inches in the immediate Minneapolis area, but as you can see, especially off to the south and the east, it could be more like 5 to 6 inches of snowfall. So here's a look at it starting really tonight and through tomorrow. About 3 to 5 inches of snowfall coming your way. Temperatures, huge drop out of the 30s to not only well below freezing, but into the teens, and those winds howling 15 to 25 miles per hour. So the brutal wind chills are back. Omaha, a similar situation where you're going from the 40s into the 20s in a matter of 12 hours. You bring on the blowing snow. Gusts here could be as high as 50 miles per hour, and even the possibility of some icy conditions. So we'll keep an eye on that. But yes, a big weather story here in Omaha. And we're sort of breaking this into 2 phases because there's a lot to digest. Let's talk phase 2 for a city like Pittsburgh. You're sitting at 32 degrees under cloudy skies. But yes, we are talking about the worst of wintry weather possible, including ice. So we want to go ahead and bring in our Dr. Greg Postel with kind of a breakdown of all of the elements at play with this phase of the storm.
Yes, Maria, and it's going to come to places that haven't seen a lot of winter weather lately. In particular, this map is so cool because it tells you how long it's been since we've seen winter storm warnings out for various parts of the country per the Weather Service. So right out of here, focus your attention here. This is how many months ago it's been since a winter storm warning has been issued. In some cases, more than 12 months. I'll tell you what, the times are changing because you know there are going to be some issued. Probably this afternoon, winter storm watch is coming, and then maybe warnings thereafter, probably by tomorrow or tomorrow night or Friday, right in this zone, because we're going to have all kinds of winter weather. We're going to have ice, in other words, rain coming down, freezing on contact, That's freezing rain, and then snow thereafter. There could be a lot of it, of both. So let's time it out, showing you that by, say, later on tomorrow, there may not be a lot of winter weather on the maps. You may see mostly rain on your radars. But that's about to change because much colder air, Arctic air mass, a very shallow, cold, dense air, sliding underneath that rain. It'll be warm enough aloft to rain, but right at the ground, that transition will occur to freezing rain. The cold air will get right underneath that like sludge, and it's unfortunately going to bring some heavy some heavy accumulations or accretions of freezing rain right in that swath. So let me show you an example what it might look like in Paducah, Kentucky, and how that transition from rain to the winter stuff comes about. Because by later in the evening on Thursday, tomorrow evening, it should be pretty mild ahead of that front, right? Upper 50s. That's obviously a rain sounding. But then that cold air comes in underneath it, and by, say, early in the morning on Friday, look at what happens to the surface temperatures. They come crashing down well below freezing, but we're still staying above freezing aloft. So it is going to be raining upstairs and then freezing right on contact as that Arctic air slides underneath. That's a sounding from Paducah, right? Which early on Friday morning will likely be the case, not just there, but many other locations in southern Illinois, Indiana, parts of Michigan, and maybe even eastern Arkansas. But that's the theme. We're going to see that transition on the west side of that area of low pressure. The transition from rain to freezing rain, and then to snow, and then to cold. That's kind of like the worst combination. A lot of times you get the ice coming in, and it gets a chance to melt with warmer air, but not this time around. It is going to get cold, and we are going to be stuck with the cold stuff for a while. Alex, back to you.
All right, thanks, Dr. Postel. Well, Winter Storm Hunter are going to be bringing snow and some rain to others. Coming up, we'll break it all down for you.